Boo! What's up everybody, it's Jack the Eddy here, and today I'm coming at you with a tutorial on how I create my Double Feature Friday thumbnails using Adobe Photoshop. For those of you who don't know, Double Feature Friday happens every Friday on my channel, and it is the best day of the week. It's where we take two games and we stream them during one broadcast. Now, recently I got a request from one of my subs asking for this video, and originally what I was going to do was just talk specifically about the Double Feature Friday thumbnail and show you guys how I create that. But I thought it would be good to add a little bit more in there and tell you about my thinking process and kind of the importance of creating a thumbnail, because the thumbnail is pretty important. I actually think it's one of the most important parts of your video content when you upload to YouTube. When you search in YouTube, the video isn't the first thing that pops up. It's not playing, it's not the user's first interaction with your content. Most of the time, it's actually the thumbnail. What I have on screen right now is an example of what my holiday edition of Double Feature Friday looked like. I'm really excited to share this creative process with you guys. Hopefully you guys take away something out of this video. If you do, please let me know in the comments below, and remember to smash that like button. The first step I always like to take when I create my thumbnails is literally just thinking about what is the content within the video or the broadcast. And so what I mean by thinking about what is the content in your video, you ask yourself questions like, is this a vlog, and what is that vlog about? You know, for me it was, this is a broadcast of two different games. What two different games am I doing? So for this broadcast, I streamed GTA 5 and Rainbow Six Siege, and then it was also close to the holidays, and I wanted it to be seasonal, so I was like, hey, why not? Let's throw in some Christmas colors and recognize the fact that the holidays are up and coming. Once you've answered the questions about what kind of content is in your video or your live stream broadcast, then it becomes really easy to move on to step 2, which is to pull together different images having to do with that theme that you can mix and match and slap all together to create your thumbnail. And that leads to the third part, which is then just playing around with all of the different things you collected and seeing what fits best and how it all comes together. So I've gone ahead and done the first 2 steps, so I can now just show you guys the third step, which is actually putting all of this stuff together and creating a thumbnail like this, Double Feature Friday, for an up and coming one. So once you guys have all the images that you want, go ahead and drop them into Photoshop. I'm just gonna take mine right here, drop them in. I'll make them the full size of the canvas. So that's one, that's Rainbow Six Siege, and then the second one I'm gonna do is Dead Rising 4. So these are the 2 different games that I'm going to be streaming for an upcoming Double Feature Friday. And I grabbed these 2 images because, one, this is Frank West right next to a zombie. It's pretty clear cut what game this is. You can almost easily identify this from anywhere, that who this dude is and what he's doing. And even if you don't, how funny is that this guy is taking a selfie with a zombie? I would want to click on that. So that's why I grabbed this. Easy recognizable, and if it wasn't, it looks interesting, the fact that he's taking a selfie. Second image I grabbed is from Rainbow Six Siege. This just has the attacking team and the defending team and the different operators that I use split. I thought this was a good one because I could reuse this for either a top or bottom shot. Easy to identify from the art what game this is, and then the operators themselves. And again, even if you have no idea what this game is, it looks badass. Who are these guys with guns standing there? What are they all doing? I want to know. Let's click this. So once you have those images in Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and group them together. I'm going to name this Dead Rising 4. Okay, so I have that. What I also like to do is I've gone ahead and saved my copy and separator that I use for all my standard Double Feature Fridays. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and show you guys how I created that in the first place so you can do the same. It's super simple. There's probably a different and easier way to do this, but the way I do it is I just take the rectangle tool and I draw a really long rectangle on the page just like that. And then I take my rotation tool, and with that layer selected, I hit Command T, and I can rotate this puppy and position it however I want on the image. I'm going to rotate it a little bit more. And you just keep playing with it until it is perfect the way you want it. See? Boom, there we go. And then we have our separator right there. So you guys can change the color and adjust. You can switch this over to the other side if you want. My go-to is just right down the middle. The next part, after you add that dividing line, is you just add some text. You can just add it right on top here. I just draw a nice big square. I'm gonna adjust the font size here so it's not humongous. Click back in, double feature. You guys can write whatever you want in there. I put double feature just because it's Double Feature Friday. That's the name of the stream on Friday. And then once you have the title or whatever the text is you want, what I like to do is I want it to stand out a little bit more from the dividing line. Double click that layer, that text layer, and then I'm going to add a stroke to it. And this is white, and that's really just going to help separate it from that dividing line and stand out a little bit more. And so people can see that straight and centered, that this is a double feature. Boom, just like that. And I'm doing this pretty fast. I'm not going with exact colors here. I just want to show you guys how I go about this in Photoshop. That's really the first part for adding your images in, creating that dividing line and putting in that text. I'm gonna go ahead and take this away and add my standard double feature in, just because that's already created and I like what I have there. The second part is how do I get these images to show up correctly? How you guys can do that is clicking on whichever layer you want. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight Frank West here, and you really just, so how you get the two images separately with the layering is you gotta cut the images in half on a diagonal. And this is accomplished by selecting the polyagonal lasso tool, and you just click in a rough triangle at different points of the images. Here, the top, the bottom, and we'll cut this on the diagonal. So all the way across to the top, and then reconnect here. Right click, and then hit layer via copy. And so I've copied the original layer, but now it's just the top layer of Mr. Frank and the zombie. So now all you have to do is just adjust slightly, and boom, I have my top layer. And then you guys can already see that this is starting to come together. Here's my bottom layer. So I'm just gonna shift this down a tiny bit. I want these operators to be a little bit more visible. Move him over. And now I'm gonna transform this again, Command T. Boom. We're actually almost done. The last step is just to add the copy and separator that you had earlier. You have a Double Feature Friday thumbnail. If you guys enjoyed this video or thought it was helpful, please smash that like button and leave a comment down in the... if you guys enjoyed this video and you thought it was helpful, please leave a like. Let me know in the comments below if you did not understand something or you have other questions. I'd be happy to help you. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks, everybody.